Muslims and Jews inspiring change.
MAJIC is a high school component of NewGround.
NewGround is an LA-based organization that brings Jews and Muslims together to form a community.
One of the hardest parts is deciding, do you know what, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone a little bit. I'm going to broaden my horizons and see what other people have to say.
What came first, what were like the friendships and the like fun, and
then
with
conversations
that, exactly.
about-
We were able to like be comfortable and have those conversations.
It wasn't about like who's Jewish and who's Muslim. It was just
Exactly.
all of us being teens.
Over a period of 6 months, we've gotten to know each other and discuss various issues that are important to both the Muslim and Jewish communities.
Each kind of meeting, we tackle a certain issue,
Yeah.
whether it be the roots of Islam and Judaism, or
Like anti-Semitism.
Muslim anti-Semitism, Jewish Islamophobia, Israel-Palestine, and each of those sessions we're able to get deeply below the surface into kind of what those issues mean to us individually, but also like our communities.
And I can honestly say that never in my life have I experienced deeper conversation than at MAJIC.
Yeah.
Because I've never been in a group of people where everybody is willing to go that deep with their conversation, and the adults in the room are willing to as well.
I think the hardest part of doing interfaith work is just being in situations where you're not comfortable. You know, like I said, I'm not like really that a patient person, so kind of like hearing people's stories or experiences or opinions that I didn't really agree with was kind of tough in the beginning, because it was like I wanted to immediately respond and stuff like that. But once again, you know, learning where they're coming from and stuff like that, and just being forced to listen.
You know, everyone's coming from a different place and has their own background, their own whatever that's influencing their decisions, their opinions, and really who they are.
It felt good to be able to talk like that, just openly, without having so many people around, where you can just talk with people who are your friends and, you know, who you could trust.
I didn't think I needed to do MAJIC in the first place. I do a lot of this interfaith work, but once I did MAJIC, I noticed that the people who do it all have come here for the same goal, and we all like to talk about very similar things and really get deep and down to the real good stuff and talking about the hard conversations that need to be had.
I think these really uncomfortable conversations really allow us to learn more about ourselves as well. Throughout all these conversations, I've wanted to learn more about myself, learn more about my religion, learn more about other religions, and yeah, no, it just like really allows you to really expand.
I think it was our initiation meeting, and it was the first time I'd been in a mosque. I'd seen the Islam prayer, and I was kind of struck with this moment of awe where I saw a culture that was completely different than mine. It kind of foreshadowed everything that I was about to learn, so many different steps that I had never seen before that I was gonna like grow to love, and I would say even grow to become a piece of me. Though I'm Jewish, I do feel like I have a piece of me that like appreciates and loves Islam.
I barely knew anything about the Israel-Palestine conflict, but being in NewGround's MAJIC, like I actually learned about this and I'm able to talk about it now, and it's actually something that I'm becoming more passionate about, so it's interesting to learn about these global issues and what's going on.
I think it's like an uncomfortable topic, kind of. You don't really want to talk about like things that like innately like affect you, like when people are like persecuting you and whatnot. But once you're put in like this like MAJIC like group and session where like you're encouraged to talk about these things, people come out and talk about their experiences with like anti-Semitism, and then that's where I learned about it. So, and I actually talked to like some of my Jewish friends, and we talked about like anti-Semitism and how like prevalent it is, and they're like, yeah, and I learned a lot through that. So through MAJIC, I learned more about my friends.
Because we are just ourselves as individuals, joined MAJIC and committed to some sort of change, the people around us, just even really close to us, like your grandma, like changed.
If I have a question, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna ask you it, and if it makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry, but I mean, we're supposed to be uncomfortable or else like we won't really get anywhere. So I'm just like a lot more outgoing when it comes to approaching people and asking questions about my religion, especially with my like family. I've been asking a lot more questions now.
Well, I think vulnerability is something that a lot of teens struggle with, just because I mean, it's part of growing up, and like eventually you're going to have to put yourself in vulnerable situations if you want to grow as a person.
Because they don't tell you what to do. They actually make you experience how it's like, and you learn from your moderators and then go on to become the moderator in another situation.
I have a passion now that I want to do something important. Like, I feel like I am an important person now that I have information from this, and it's like pushing me to want to do things. Like, I'm not going to be okay now just like sitting and watching things go by. I feel like I'm an advocate now for whatever I want to do.